Final SEC analysis here, because I know y'all been watching all of our shows, bro.
Yes.
And we don't wear the same clothes every day. And just so you know, if you've been watching these, who do I got? The East, of course, Georgia.
Georgia? That sounds about right. Tennessee's my option too. I think that Tennessee may be able to put it together, and I don't, but it's option two.
Yeah. So, let me say this. Alabama and Georgia.
That's it. That's it. I agree with it. And Alabama wins.
If I had to pick, let's say those are not choices, and you have to pick
somebody other than Alabama and Georgia. Okay, I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say Arkansas out of the West. Yeah. If it's not Alabama, I'll go with Arkansas, just because KJ Jefferson, I think, is the key for that team. They got one more year with him, and then he's gone. He's gone to the NFL. Out of the East, it's Tennessee or Kentucky. It really comes down to which team can put it all together. I think that Kentucky's replacing some people on offense that is going to hurt them in the long run. But I think that their defense is still as good as it was, if not better than what it was last year. And I think the reverse is the problem with Tennessee. I think Tennessee's offense is in really good shape.
Who would you pick in the West, though?
It's Arkansas out of the West.
Arkansas.
Yeah.
Arkansas.
For me, it's Arkansas.
Yeah, you said that. I'm sorry. And that's it. Well, I would go with... I'm not sold on Arkansas because I like that coach, Pittman. I just don't know. I think last year was lightning in a bottle. But I hope they do. I like Arkansas. I like him. He's a good guy to get behind and root for. He's almost like a Ted Lasso kind of character.
Yeah.
I guess in that we want
I've
to
never seen Ted Lasso, so I'm just
it's good. He's very likable, and so. But I would go with probably A&M, as much as I hate to. If you've watched the other ones, I really dislike. I really dislike Jimbo. I'll be honest with you, I never liked him when he was at Florida State. Of course, you're a Florida fan. I'm sure you didn't like him.
I didn't like him either. Again, go look at the reason why he left Florida State.
Yeah.
Why him and his wife got divorced. That's all I'm saying.
His quarterback situation is, but I would go with. I think Texas A&M is more. I think there's going to have some gems out of that freshman recruiting class. I think he's going to have some that step up and play, because Alabama always does.
Well, but there's different coaching at Alabama than there is at Texas A&M.
True. Hey, and I just heard this morning. Damian Craig, who used to be a quarterback at Auburn, I believe, if I'm correct, y'all check me on that. Damian Craig, who was the tight ends coach, and the guy who was the quarterbacks coach, just this week, Jimbo swapped those. So Craig went to quarterback coach, and the guy who had been the quarterbacks coach went to a tight ends coach, which I would consider that to be
a demotion.
And so I will say this, that there's probably something that he already does.
Tight end coaches get paid more money
He's
now.
already something he does. There's already something that he doesn't. Either he sees something that he doesn't like already, or he's just like, hey, we just need to mix things up. So on that side, I would pick A&M.
Which is why I still think that Arkansas is the better choice.
In the East, as much as I hate to do this, I think Tennessee. If I had to pick a second one, I'll pick Tennessee, and I'll tell you why. Whether Alabama fans, we got scared last year in Tuscaloosa when Tennessee come down there. They just about, if we had not
knocked on that door.
If we had not gotten so far ahead in the first quarter and the first half, it would have been a totally different ball game. If it had been in Knoxville with the fans behind them, it would have been different. But I think,
just ask Ole Miss how Tennessee fans are.
I think Hendon Hooker, if he stays healthy, watch out. He kind of reminds me of KJ Jefferson a little bit. He can run it, he can throw it. And just Heupel. Just Heupel come in there, and everybody was saying it, whether they want to admit it or not, whether you hate Tennessee or not, you admit it.
Yes.
He has come in there, and he has done a great job. And if he stays there, and I think Tennessee will do what they need to do to keep him there. Heupel is going to flourish there at Tennessee. I think he's going to be good. So Tennessee would be my...
Again, bring Derek Dooley back.
I think they're hungry.
Bring Derek Dooley back.
I think they're hungry. So,
missed the orange pants on the sidelines.
I just want 16. I just want one more year of bragging rights. 16, Sweet 16 to make it a good even number. So third Saturday.
In case y'all don't understand that, he means 16 in a row.
16 in a row.
16 in a row.
So 16 in a row, Alabama, Tennessee.
Florida's right there with it too, but we lost one in between. It's okay.
But that would be mine. If I had to pick second place, A&M, Tennessee.
I agree with that. to a certain extent. I still say Arkansas is the better team. Anyways,
we'll see.
All right, so really, it's Alabama and Georgia. Alabama wins it. Alabama goes on to win the national championship. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I think so. I think, who knows how the other one's going to. That's one of the things that's so exciting. We don't have a crystal ball and we don't know, and we get to follow the storylines.
So the favorite out of the Pac-12 or 14 or 20 or whatever y'all are now is coming to Florida at the first game of the season. So we will get to see Utah play an SEC team. And really, to me, that's going to set the tone for the rest of Florida's season, because if they can go in there and beat Utah at home, yeah, maybe we can make it a revenge year. I don't think so, but hey, maybe we can.
Now, I'm very SEC biased.
I am too. Auburn's going to play Penn State in the first month of the schedule.
Third game. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll get to see some of the other ones. Who does Alabama start off with? Because I know that y'all always try to schedule a hard team.
No, not this year.
Y'all going to get a cakewalk for the first time?
Yeah, the first one is it's.
Utah State.
Utah State. They're actually not that bad. I mean, it's not a cakewalk, but I mean, it's not an SEC opponent.
Yeah, well, they may have been pretty good last year. Utah State may have been pretty good.
Well, Utah won the Pac-12. Utah and Utah State are always big rivalries.
Well, I know that the Utah State was on a podcast the other day on a show on ESPN, and I'm like, why is he on there? And I guess it was because they're playing Alabama. So
that helps you get some publicity anytime that you.
I'm very SEC centric. I always think we keep showing time and time again, even though the ACC has made some runs and whatnot.
But they're fixing to go away.
We keep showing that we're pretty good. I'll be interested to see what Clemson does, because I mean he's a
reloaded,
good coach over there, Dabo, and so. We'll see. And last year was a struggling year for them. They still only lost maybe 2 games,
something like that.
And it was a rough year for them. I think Alabama, and I'll quit bragging on them after this. But this is of course the team that I follow the most closely. Is Saban made a comment a couple weeks ago that last year was a rebuilding year, and people thought that he was trying to be a smart aleck, because they were so good. And they're trying to be a smart aleck.
Well, you started a whole new defense last year.
They had 3 starters on each side of the ball.
Yep.
Because they should have had 10. They should have had 7 starters on each side of the ball, and they had so many people to leave for the NFL.
Yep.
And so
you didn't have. I mean, you still had a decent amount this year, but not as many as the years before.
You become a victim of your own success.
That's correct.
At some point,
which is what I think Georgia's problem is this year, because they only have 10 starters returning.
You start doing so good, you're like Calipari in Kentucky there for a few years, where he had these one and done freshmen, because they can leave whenever they want to in basketball. And we mentioned about Calipari and Stoops going at it in an earlier episode, but you become so good that you become so good that you become a victim of your success. People will leave early because they know you're playing with the best of the best. So if you can succeed at Alabama, you can play.
Well, I mean, we compared that transfer coming into Alabama to Alvin Kamara, and that was one of y'all's that y'all lost, and went to Tennessee and had a stellar career under Brick by Brick. What was his name? Butch Jones.
Butch Jones. Who also coached at Alabama on his rehab program.
Yeah, and now he's at Central Michigan or
Arkansas
something?
State.
Arkansas State.
So,
is he still Brick by Brick?
Yeah, I guess.
He would have back. Hey, you could bring him back to Tennessee.
They got
love Butch Jones.
What was it he said that he got caught so much flack of? That they winning. They're winning Champions of Life.
Remember
what he said? Champions of Life.
That's right.
And I was all about Butch Jones because he was very inspirational, motivational. He mentioned a lot of the books that I'd read and stuff, and I thought he was a really good. But when he mentioned the Champions for Life, I was like, I puked in my mouth a little bit. I was like,
yeah, because he's like a respecting coach. That's not what you're doling out at the end of the game. We're Champions of Life. Woo!
That's what you tell Pee Wee kids,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
When you lost, it was not when you won.
It was like 3 a.m. in the morning when you make too much Waffle House chili, Burt's chili, and you kind of
I just had that for breakfast.
You're like, oh, that was wrong. Oh, that didn't feel. You're like, yeah, but Butch Jones said that, and so. But the gist of the conversation is we got to change NIL. I mean, Saban says we got to change it.
Alabama.
We got to change it.
All right.
Level playing field for everybody. I'd like to finish up with, if we have somehow disparaged your team and you were thinking about buying or selling the home,
Hey, look.
we didn't mean it.
Look.
We take it back.